All right, cool. Oh, is that working? We got audio? Awesome. Very good. All right, we're getting it rolling tonight. Thanks so much for being here tonight. My name's Beissert. Welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Coming at you live from my living room here in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. Many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, for their support, keeping the open mic going. We are Asheville's longest running and best open mic thanks to your support. And thanks for tuning in tonight from wherever you may be. We do this each and every Wednesday night. And we invite people to sign up to perform in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. And we have a good time here on Wednesdays. And we're going to have a great time here tonight. We got one of my favorite poets in the house with us. Leah Tiger is here tonight. She'll be our featured poet. And we're really looking forward to it. So y'all stick around. I'm going to do a few poems to get things warmed up. And then we'll get our featured poet on. And then get some other performers in the mix. So anyway, thank you so much. Let's get right to the poetry. I'm going to start things off with a poem I translated from the Spanish of Federico Garcia Lorca. This is Guzzle of the Terrible Presence. I want the water that continues without the riverbed. I want the wind that continues without valleys. I want the night that continues without eyes, and my heart without the golden flower. The oxen that speak with giant leaves, and the earthworm that dies in shadow. The teeth of the skull that shine, and the yellow that saturates the silk. I can see the sorrow of wounded night wrestling, curled around midday. I resist a twilight of green venom and the crumbled arches where time suffers. But do not illuminate your clean, naked body like a black cactus blooming in the reeds. Abandon me in a longing of dark planets, but do not show me your thin, fresh hips. Little Garcia Lorca to get us rolling tonight. I got a few more poems to get us into it. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot more poetry coming at you and other stuff. We get a variety of stuff here on the mic because we welcome all forms of artistic self-expression. And we invite you to join us and tune in here each and every Wednesday night. We really appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. This is an original poem called Weymouth Dream. The haunting pines continue to look into my dreams, peering in the still August evening into the old southern house where there's always a sound in the night, where the road cruises by, where test missiles explode in the distance and skew pictures on the walls. There's a ragged motel on a roadside called the Whispering Pines Motel. Sad vacations from the past. The highway becomes little towns on the horizon. I cross towns off the map. Mountains vanish into flatland. A gopher tortoise eases into sedges. Dark trails curl through woods. My dreams continue to look through the perfect trunks of the longleaf pines that turn into mist where all that is lost goes. And this one's called Last of the Porch Times. I move on to other porches, knowing this one was good to us. Of all the times, porch time was about relaxing and unwinding in solitude after a stretched day of work or together, sharing the sound of our thoughts or arroyos of laughter. There was one time my roommate sat on the chair wasps had built a nest under. Their sudden swarm stung her dozens of times before she realized what it was. But the porch was good to us, though it never noticed us. Its weathered planks buckle in waves that creak underfoot. Railings leave crenellations on faces. We swayed in the porch swing, drawing closer to each other on cold nights when the mountain wind crawled the icy street and the dark trees groaned heavy. That's where I saw the wildcat that came to inhabit my dreams. I think she was trying to tell me something, but my language fails to reach across. I'll have to discover new language. I'll have to listen to the animals who have been speaking since before words. I'll have to listen from inside. How to translate a tongue I didn't realize is there without a stone to guide. We have been hearing the language all along. We can't understand what is beyond meaning. I think I know what the cat was saying. And I'll do one more poem. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Appreciate the comments, y'all. Thank you. Yes, what's up? Big shout out to the people down at the Kava bar tuning in tonight. E-Money and Chris and the crew. I love y'all. Thank you. Appreciate the support. It's going to be a great night. Y'all stay tuned. We're having fun, you know. We're getting it rolling. Hope y'all are having fun too. Throw back some kavas for me. Everybody, we appreciate your support. All the likes, comments, and shares. In case you're just joining us, this is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. We have moved online during the pandemic to keep things safe for everyone. And one of the great things about this is that people can now join us from wherever they are in the world. You don't have to actually be in Asheville. You can come hang out with us here on Wednesday nights. And so, you know, our featured poets from LA tonight. Last week we had Morocco in the house and San Francisco and all sorts of places. So it's good. It's fun, y'all. Anyway, yes, one more poem and then we'll get our feature poet on the mic. But y'all stay tuned for Leah Tiger. She's an amazing... really powerful poet, so stick around for that. Let me see if I can find this poem. Sorry, my iPad screen's cracked here, so it's a little hard to read. Promise I was organized. Oh yes, right here, of course. Alright. This is a newer one. This is called Sign. The anxious opiate addict, 10 days sober, keeps asking to play the piano, undeterred that the answer is always no. He's just asking if he can play the piano. It had a sign on it that said to ask the bartender before playing it. He just wants to play it for a few minutes. Is it cool if he just plays it for a few minutes? He's just asking. We're really just trying to close up, man. But he just wants to play it for a few minutes. So is it cool if he just plays it for a few minutes? He's just asking, though. He knows how to play. He'll play it really good just for a few minutes. He's just asking if he can play the piano just a few minutes. Piano, is it cool? Piano, a few minutes. He's asking, piano, minutes, piano, piano. He's just asking if he can just play the piano for a few minutes. He really needs to get something out. Alrighty. Cool. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate everyone being here tonight. We're gonna get our feature poet beamed in here tonight. first I'm going to introduce our featured poet. Leah Tiger lives in a house with more windows than walls. She's worked as a teaching artist for the Writers' Garret, poetry contest editor for American Literary Review, and co-founder of the Looped Poetry Series. This fall, she'll be joining USC's Literature and Creative Writing program as a PhD candidate. Her work appears in Colorado Review, Pleiades, Tupelo Quarterly, and other places. And she has a forthcoming book as well, and we've got a link where you can pre-order the book, and we'll post that in the comments as well. So, you know, support this great poet, order the book, you won't regret it. And without further ado, y'all know the drill. Wherever you may be in the world, whether you're in your living room, at home, maybe in your car, tuning in, or even if you're in a public place, we want you to jump up and down, do a little dance, put your hands together, and make a whole bunch of applause for our featured poet tonight, Leah Tiger, live from LA. Y'all give it up. All right. Leah, hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. It's good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has. And we didn't get to see each other at AWP this year.
I know. I was bummed, but I am super happy you could make it tonight.
Me
really
too.
excited.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad you could do it. And how are you doing?
I'm great. I got to LA a couple months ago, and the place is coming together. I start my PhD program next week. I've had meetings all this week, orientations on Friday. It's happening.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fantastic. Well, congrats. I'm super excited for you. And of course, I love LA. I've got family out there, so glad you're there. And I want to talk about, also congratulate you on the forthcoming book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And of course, you are author of We and She, You and Then You Again. I love this book. And are there copies of that still available for sale?
I think there might be some on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Well, get it if there are any. Yeah, collectible now.
Better to support your indie publisher with the new book than to support Amazon. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. And let's see, we got that link there. Deep Vellum, that's a great press. Big congrats on that book, and I can't wait for it to come out. And I assume you'll be sharing some work from that book tonight, and maybe some new experimental stuff as well?
Yeah, most of it, actually, even the experimental stuff is from that book. I've just taken the opportunity to translate it for this medium. And a few B-sides that didn't make it into the book will also be read tonight. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, and I'm going to turn it over to you and let you get to the poetry. And yeah, everybody give it up one more time for Leah Tiger.
Hi, everyone. This is my first time giving a reading over streaming. I have, so this is going to be an experiment for me. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad you're taking time out of your quarantine and your screen fatigue to share it with us. And I'm going to start with a poem called Children Dancing at the Greek Festival. And if you've ever, as a child, been sort of voluntold to participate in religious pageantry or sort of cultural traditions, then you're going to enjoy this poem. Okay. Children Dancing at the Greek Festival. From their scowls, some of them must have been commanded into costume by their parents, like I was when I was 4, and dressed as Esther, to become the wife of a 5-year-old ASHEViLLE. These children are a few years older, and the tallest boy leads the line like a goat. He hasn't grown into his own feet or his own life, so his parents give him a series of steps to follow. Girls follow the boys. They are painted in their weight with mascara and blush. Parents cheer for daughters dressed in tights and bows and tassels, coins sewn to costumes as if they should turn into purses. Dressed this way, the girls could be their own grandmothers carried over in a pre-war picture, as if there was ever a time before war, or a time when girls were not costumed for the promise already waiting inside their bodies. Another child who will learn to dance the orosh as I learned to dance the hora. My parents taught me themselves. They praised me for pretending to be Esther, praised the promise I refused to fill. They showed me how to light the Shabbos table. I let the flame burn all the way down. Okay. The next poem that I'm going to read, just a couple notes just to orient you in the poem. Pesach is just another word for Passover, and Ma Nishtana is a sort of series of ritual questions that are asked during the Passover dinner, and they all start with the youngest person in the room, usually a child, asking, why is this night different from all other nights? So with that in mind, this is called Ma Nishtana for the post-truth Pesach. My grandfather often noticed the flag at half-mast and wondered, what should be mourned on a given day as opposed to other days? His wonder evokes the words on the apron he wore each Seder to cook the shank and egg. Why is this night different from all other nights, it said. Don't ask. I looked forward to that apron more than the treasure hunt for matzah or the seance to summon Elijah's ghost. My grandfather's apron gave a new answer for an old question, a call and response I recited until refrain escaped knowledge and turned into song. Here we are now, me and my family, seated at the long table to honor our freedom. We taste our ancestral tears and swallow the syrupy wine. We celebrate how slavery passed us over, as if freedom can't die the way my grandfather died, in a slow, demented wasting. Why is this loss different from all other losses? Because the mind goes first. Because it takes years for the body to follow. This next one is called Exodus Revised. It was written during the 2018 midterms, and the last line is sort of complicated by current events, and that's a thing that can happen to poems, but I'm still going to go ahead and read it. So let's see. Exodus Revised. And on the 10th day of this month, Stephen shall order a senatorial sign for our household. If there is an HOA that objects to yard signs the way some might object to gnomes or flamingos, Stephen will display the sign inside a street-facing window. He shall choose the window according to its size and visibility from the curb. If I don't want him to post the political sign at all, if it makes me think of lamb's blood on lintels, Stephen shall give the sign unto our nearest willing neighbor. Either way, the sign must be new and without blemish. It will be purchased on the candidate's website and wrapped in plastic or a thin sleeve of paper. Stephen will leave the sign in its packaging and wait until the 14th day of this month when he shall retrieve it and assemble each part at twilight. He shall insert 2 ground stakes into the sign's foam core and plant the double-sided placard on city soil, deep in the thin strip of earth between sidewalk and curb. Stephen must not place the sign parallel to the house, but perpendicular, broad sides turned away from Greenbelt and toward the street. In this manner, he shall place our sign so all who pass by may see it. Stephen will survey his efforts in tool belt and sandals, a rubber mallet in hand. We will hope the sign is not stolen by morning. And in the time between hope and its outcome, no murderous god arrives. There is no blessing for the American landscape at night. No plague on man or beast shall come to spare us. What survives? My neighbor's daughter says hello through the fence. In our story, I become her friend. She shares her teenage secrets while her father shoots hawks from the air. They land in my yard impossibly close, faraway birds, but sudden and large. So I become mortician with grocery bags for gloves. My neighbor's chickens fly over the fence to hide from roosters or from the jealous hens. I water my roses and an errant chicken sips from the hose, neck pecked bare. My friend comes out to rescue her father's chicken. I told him I like girls, she says. The thought of it kills him. Then let it, I say, in a different kind of story, one where there can be no loss to leaving a love that knows nothing of love. Back in our story, the chicken runs from us like a dancer. I find her throat and feather fused to the road the next day, a single wing raised at the sky in protest. Here, there are countless ways a body won't survive, most of them cruel, and there are as many merciless ways a body will. My neighbor's aim has never been perfect. A grazed hawk falls into my yard and I throw a blanket over a resistant body. I wrestle the bird into box and take it to rescue, where it will be nursed back to health in a cage. My neighbor's flock survives to become my neighbor's dinner. His daughter slices their throats. She goes to school and comes home every day. She tells me she counts down the years. In a different kind of story, she becomes the errant chicken who rises from the pavement and turns into a girl without a father. My neighbor is turned into hawk and I into gun. Because every kind of story takes flight with feather and metal, and our story lands at a fence. It draws a line, dares me to cross it. This one is called The First Thing He Gives Me. Build the fence inside the fence. One to keep the dog out, one to keep him in. Scrape the leaves and mulch away. Find below an undoing of soil already fine in its turning. He says it was always waiting to be garden. The seeds hardly need to be buried, a knuckle pressed in soil. We funeral more than required. Some will and will not rise. He says the seedlings should be half submerged until their earth dissolves in ours. Let sun and water work their change between here and harvest. Lay out the plastic snakes, enough to scare off birds. All right. I want to ask Caleb how we're doing on time. I don't know if we have time for 3 more, one of which is kind of long.
Totally. We're good on time.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah, it sounded great. I'm loving it.
Hey, that's
I think
great.
these folks are too, yeah.
Thank you guys for your time. Or thank you folks for your time. Do we have time for more than 3? No? Okay, good.
Sure.
Yes, no?
4 poems then?
Okay, we can do 4 more. All right.
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll do 3 more.
Whatever you're feeling.
Okay.
We got time tonight. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, 3 more. 3 more. All right. So, sorry about that. Again, this is my first live stream. Okay. This one is called In Which We Visit Disneyland and Do Not Speak of Banksy. And I'm going to try something new with this medium and see how it goes. So hopefully it's cool. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you. And then we're going to do, yeah, all right. Okay. Almost Christmas, and we're looking at a towering tree. Its ornaments shrink in size as they reach the top. It's called forced perspective, you tell me. It makes the tree seem that much taller. There was a time when I knew that. A time I loved enchantment, this tiki room, its singing robot birds, but now I notice these machines are rendered female, arranged like showgirls. The speaking roles are rendered male. Red and purple stage light cast their bruise on our rapt faces, each singing toy. I remember when birds were just birds. I remember the girl who believed in magic. I am searching for her on the bridge to Cinderella's castle. When you hold my waist or kiss my neck. I am watching a family of ducks in the water beneath us. I am tracing the soft tan down of ducklings as they fall into line behind the sharp and speckled feathers of their mother. Are they real, you ask? Of course they are. We find the haunted mansion, bodiless graves, headstones carved with epitaph puns. Music eerie's itself from the ground. We look for hidden speakers, count the plastic ears on other people's heads, find the marvel of lanterns hung from trees, how the electric line that brightens them is painted like bark. I might search every tree when I get home, as I search each face for danger there, but not here. Here we are happy, the happiest, and we ride our rides. We watch the sun descend into dark, watch the crows circle into the last of the light, how they settle and unsettle, their cries and their flight stirring the sky. They don't look real, but they are. Of course they are. We board a mimic submarine. We board yellow cosmetic fins. Our faces pressed to portholes in the underwater viewing of cartoon fish, their frantic search for prodigal son. Our vessel passes a field of mines, and we trip one. The lights flash red. Our captain barks, secure all stations. The boy beside us strains against his mother's shirt, and now the fabric gathers in his fists. Is it real, he asks her. Is it real? Mom, are all of us drowning? All right, so I'm gonna unshare my screen, figure out how to do that. Oh, yeah, that, okay. Good, okay, I think we're good, all right. Yeah, so one of the reasons that this book is called Circle Back is because it includes poems that interrogate each other, and it's sort of arranged like a Matryoshka doll. And so I'm going to read you, I'm calling them duets. So there's like one poem that sets up a premise and then another poem that responds to that. And the first part of the duet is called Ekphrasis for a GIF. And just a quick poet note, ekphrasis is a poem about an artwork. And in this case, it's about a GIF. So, all right. See how the raccoon let slip from its grasp in the wet light of morning or recent rain, a square of cotton candy. Its hands attempt to hold what isn't there. They fish the pond. They search the sculpted rocks arranged around its edges. The animal does not know the air inside spun sugar or how its fabric is an easy unmaking. When the raccoon starts to understand, sugar returns to its mouth, then slips its hold again. The animal's palms press into loss to meet each other. They fish up, air and empty. The raccoon is set so close inside the frame, it makes another cage for sugar and the raccoon's frantic searching. See how unseeing hands traverse the divide between hope and its leaving. Light flung like coins in the pond on raccoon stirring its palms into water. See how the candy is lost and how it returns, how the raccoon sees through its hands into blindness. Sugar held inside the raccoon's mouth and raccoons held inside the frame. Its hands search the water and find only water. It is not done looking at that seemed moment when the world resets into sugar and mouth again, waiting to be lost. All right, so this is the last poem, and this is the response poem, and it's called Comment Section Cento. And a cento is traditionally a poem that is made from other lines, often a song or other poems. And in this case, it's the comment section. So let's try something. We're gonna play again with this medium for this one. All right, let's see. Screen. Comment section cento.
It's also washing bear in Japanese, Norwegian too. They probably gave it cotton candy knowing it would stick that shit in water. I'm glad I'm not the only person angry about that. Raccoons in captive can't meet their need of searching stuff in rivers. They take what they can get and wash it for a chance to use their hands. Add that to the crying list. Imagine an amusement park when it rains and each kid's cotton candy disappears. It's like my hopes and dreams, but less wet. Why does this keep happening? This cotton candy is my joy and water is the world. That poor raccoon is better off without the candy in its belly. That raccoon is probably dead. I can't tell if I feel bad for the raccoon or bad because what happens is a metaphor for everything in general. Am I twisted if I want to watch again?
All right, folks, thank you so much for listening and sharing your time. And I'm looking forward to joining the audience and hearing a few of you read. I know that Caleb wanted me to hang out, and I'm going to put my headphones back on. Let's see. Hi.
All right. Hey.
Hi.
Fantastic reading, Leah. That was really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here tonight. I love the with the presentation how the written words interact with the words you're speaking.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is really cool, and love the last poem as well.
Yeah, you got to end on a light note.
Yeah. I hear you. Man, there's some beautiful stuff in there. Very beautiful stuff. I love the one about with the image of the chicken.
Yeah, that one has a duet in the book too. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, good. I cannot wait for the book to come out.
Thank you.
And we'll keep sharing that link, and please come back and join us whenever you can. I know you're about to get real busy with the PhD, but that's good. And we'd love to have you back once the book comes out, and hopefully get you back to ASHEViLLE in person
I know.
one
That
day
was
when it's safe
really
again.
one of my favorite trips was coming out to read for you in 2017. I think about it often. I really would love to be up on Pisgah right about now. So.
Same here. Yeah. That was good times. Good times.
It was. Yes.
But,
thank you again. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks,
Everybody,
everyone.
absolutely buy the book and give it up one more time for Leah Tiger. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
All right. Leah Tiger, y'all, coming to us live from LA tonight. Many thanks to Leah, and thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. That's the link right there, for you to buy the book and pre-order the book. But get it while the getting's good, and pre-orders are great. It's a really great way to help small presses, these small presses like Deep Vellum that are so important to the working literary community and to the artists, to the readers. So support these presses, especially in these times that it's going to be hard on a lot of small presses and stuff, but we want to keep these going and support the small presses. So buy the book, fabulous press, fabulous poet, and keep tuning in here each and every Wednesday night for more open mic fun. You know, we're figuring this out as we go, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. It's good to be able to still get together in some form or fashion when we can't get together in person. So thanks for joining me here in my living room in Asheville tonight. Cheers to you, wherever you may be. Let's see, I think we have some more. Oh yeah, we got a lot of comments here for Leah. I think they liked it. Cool. Hell yeah, Steve. I want to thank our sponsor again, Sovereign Kava. Sovereign Kava is open in Asheville for cashless to-go orders only. Masks are required. They also do delivery through Kickback Asheville. So check out Sovereign Kava, a great institution here in town, supporting the poetry scene and the music scene here for many years now. And big shout out to our friends over at Sovereign right now, listening in as they close up the bar. I wanted to say, oh yes, if you're performing tonight and you're in Asheville, we'd like to offer you a free double shot of Kava from Sovereign Kava. Just stop by the bar and let them know you're picking up your open mic shot, and they will hook you up. So check it out. Still more comments for Leah here we're going through. So excellent. Thank you all so much for the comments. Thank you for the likes and shares. And thank you for your support and keeping this thing going here. Couldn't do it without y'all. And many thanks tonight to our technical director, Morgan Beissert, my brother. Thanks, Morgan. Much love, man. And also, this is theme music by the Kava Lactans tonight. And I play in the band, so we get free non-copyrighted music. But y'all can use it too. Look it up. We got stuff online. We don't care. Cool. Yes. Okay, yes. We have more performers coming at you. KJ is in the house next, and then after that we have Zen Sutherland in the house. Then we got Stephen Energia, and we also have Gina Carrillo tonight and Chase Horsfield. So it's gonna be a fun night. I think there's a couple of spots left if anyone else wants to jump in here and perform tonight. Follow that StreamYard link in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook, and keep checking us out here each and every Wednesday night. Let's get KJ beamed in here now. KJ's with us in Asheville here. So, y'all make a whole bunch of noise for our good friend KJ. Give it up. KJ!
What up,
Hey,
Kat?
how you doing tonight? What's
going
up?
on?
Good to see you.
What's going on, bruh?
Chilling,
I'm
man.
excited as hell to be here.
Me too. I'm excited you could be
Yeah,
here.
okay, yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I know you got some good poetry for us tonight. KJ's a poet. He performs at the poetry slams here in Asheville at the Lazoom, and he also works with people at the VA doing poetry. So yeah. I'm gonna turn
Yeah.
things over to you, KJ, and let you share your poems. But everybody, give it up for
Cool.
KJ.
Okay, I got about 3 poems. My first one is was foreshadowing this. I wrote it in 2019, and it kind of foreshadowed this crazy 2020 year. And I knew nothing about COVID or George Floyd or nothing. So I was just fortune telling, basically. Okay, the name of this poem is "Nothing About Us Is Ugly, but America Would Beg to Differ." Tribute to ethnicity. Yeah, they said we were ugly, with our skin thick like melanin, and 'cause we are the children of the sun, Earth Aborigines, Miss Franklin's black rose who rose up through the ghetto paved asphalt of urban metropolis, timeless since early conception of Son Christ, since the foundations of creation layers, timeless in the womb and bosom of great mother and father spirit, father and mother nature elements of north, south, east, west, like in the days of old with tabula vita text scroll and the Bhagavad Gita, and of African healing drums and harps and bird and snake charmers, dream catchers and kente cloth, Easter Island, Lemuria, Atlantis and Mecca, Dreamtime of Australia, inside teepees, inside sweat lodges, in trance, or in Ethiopia, land of Cush, of Old Testament Bible scriptures. Yeah, that was old school, old world, back in the day. Fast forward tens, hundreds, thousands of millennia to year 2020. Bible revelations, black angel of death, grim reaper, messenger on a pale white horse, brings tidings of and bearing false witness about famines and pestilences and valleys of serpents inside the dry bones of a great valley wasteland called America, home of the brave and free. But now, great God Almighty calls on his appointed, anointed children of the light, great seeds of Abram, indigo sons and daughters, black gold of the sun and salt of the earth, to hold, to maintain energy frequencies of peace on the planet, to shine and to soar, grow into godhood, grow into the great kings and queens we're destined to be, like in the days of old, for the kingdoms, and to heal all the land. America knows, the planet knows, a black rose and the black sheep of the human family is the most beautiful. Yeah, America, read and weep, and world, eat your heart out. Year 2019, Miss Universe is South African, and chocolate for shizzle. On the real, XO. Yeah, man, and ain't nothing about us is ugly, whether or not the world or America says so. I hope y'all like that one. Okay, this one, this poem is a Mother's Day present for my sister, and it's basically a salute to all the wonderful, beautiful mothers out there. The name of it is "Ode to Lady TF of St. John Baptist, Asheville." Mama Zulu, my nature, birther of the motherland, Ethiopian gift of female energy and polarity, and a totem of the bush elephant, from the womb of Afro-Asiatic queens like you that birth cornucopias of life and more life, gifting life to life, rendering creations of earth and cosmic elements vastly internal, eternal, utterly void through all dimension and that of space, of time, through to infinity beyond, into, throughout, deep space nine. Yeah, my lady T, that female prophetess, Lion of Judah who shelters community, family, litter within the abounding love of her bosom and womb. Yes, St. John Nation prophetess who during bereavement time of the AVL community has over and over and over selflessly laid down her life to represent as the great healing salve and balm of Gilead, most deaf, word ma Africa, and the Senegal of Egypt. Black Panther tigress whose eagle bird totem feathers shelters the wounded brothers, the wounded sisters. Yes, Lady Tara, her eagle wings fly on Friday. Local and national and international blackbird, eagle, crow, and butterfly symbol of peace. Yeah, big ups. Much props to my Africa. Black butterfly of peace who embraces all of cosmic creation, man, womankind. Woman saint of the ages and Mary Magdalene of a Mesopotamian royal pines of southern Asheville. Represent Miss Lady Foster, Power Mama matriarch of unconditional love and holy woman of Jesus our Lord. Almighty Christ Holy of St. John Nation. Almighty Christ Holy, Lady Prophet of the one God Most High. Almighty Christ Holy. So roll out the red carpet for Her Highness and royalty on streets paved with golden cinder blocks in Israel, in Jerusalem, in Zion. Word. Yeah, that was pretty long-winded. Okay, I got this last little poem, and it's kind of haiku-ish. I call it an extended haiku poem. It's kind of has that kind of vibe. The name of it is "Go and Open the Door." Open the door to equanimity, even-mindedness, and level-headedness, and grow into godhood. God up, no manning up. Open the door and grow up, because there ain't no sacrificial lamb BS going on here. Refuse, says God's chosen. No man an island to himself. So as I take up the cross, and at whatever the cost, I join together with all sentient beings until we merge together into the light of infinite source and divine consciousness forever and ever and ever. Open the door. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, KJ.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Thank you.
much for sharing your words with us tonight. It's good to
It
see
was
you
a
here.
it was a pleasure, dude.
Absolutely. The pleasure's all mine. And please come back and join us again.
Okay, most definitely.
Awesome. Cool. I hope to see you next week. Everyone give it up one more time for KJ. All right, and you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville Love Stream, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina, bringing a little love, a little poetry, a little creativity into your homes or wherever you may be in these trying times. It's good to still be able to get together with y'all. Thank you to KJ. We still got some more inspiring performers coming at you on the open mic tonight. And many thanks again to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. And check them out, support Sovereign Kava and the work they do. Yes, we're helping to keep Asheville weird here, almost 10 years running. And thank you for your support. All right. Also, big thanks again to our featured poet tonight, Leah Tiger. for that great reading. And I encourage you all to buy the book, pre-order the book. It's coming out next month from Deep Vellum, and you can pre-order on that link there. That'll be posted in the comments as well. Okay. We have another fine ASHEViLLE poet for you up next. Zen Sutherland's with us tonight. And I think Zen's ready to go. So let's see if we can beam in Zen for you. You know the drill. Jump up and down, make a whole bunch of noise for Zen. Give it up. Zen, hey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Caleb, great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you. What you been up to?
Oh, the same old retirement stuff, you know, make a list and don't do it.
Well, I do that, and I'm not retired. So.
Yeah. Well, but
yeah,
I get to do it in a non-meaningful way, so anyway, or something like that.
Well, congrats on that.
Thanks.
That's cool. Well, cool. You got some new poems for us tonight? What you got?
I do, and I'm throwing one in there at the beginning. One of your poems to start us off was about language, and it really kind of resonated with me and reminded me of a poem that I had. This is an older poem, but it's along the same lines, and I just love that idea that language is something that it, you know, that you can't talk about if it's not defined, you know, in some sort of way.
Oh, right. We need words to define other words.
And
like
yet it's still
infinite.
Right. And yet it's still symbolism that you're, you know, when we communicate, you know, I have this thought, I then translate it into words, I speak it across time, your ear hears it, translate, and so probably my original thought looks nothing like your reception of that original thought. I don't know. Anyway,
well,
it's just,
I think that's a beautiful thing, though. You know, that the meaning lives in the reader. You know,
right.
I feel like once you write something and put it out there, it's in a way it's no longer yours anymore. You know,
I like
it
that.
belongs to
I
the
like
reader.
that. Yeah, it's what you bring emotionally and psychologically to something, you know, that makes it or breaks it, you know, and if it resonates with enough people, it becomes something agreed upon on a societal level. It's an interesting concept.
And that's how new words are born.
Exactly.
Societal agreement, yeah.
Societal agreement.
Yeah.
So anyway, this will be about the first one will be about language in the same sort of sense.
Sounds great. Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to you and let you share the poetry.
All right, thanks.
All right, everyone, give it up for Zen. Cheers.
Hey everyone, coming from the studio, the electronic studio of my artistic creativity or whatever. Thanks to Caleb and thanks to Sovereign Kava. I've read there once and really enjoyed it, but then it all sort of, well, with the COVID and even before that, fell apart for me. But anyway, the first one I want to do is, like I said, about language, and it's called When I Lost My Language. When I lost my language, I can't tell you how bad it was. I had no words to tell you about how bad it was. When I lost my language, I still loved but couldn't tell anyone. I loved alone, unconverted, like having rupees and no exchange rate at the airport. I still loved, but hearts were the same as stones, as poison ivy, nipple clamps. It all blurred without description. No seeds were planted, so no flowers grew. when I lost my language. When I lost my language, the world began to fade, not to black and white, but a uniform gray, paste like Vaseline on my tongue. My music died before it hit my ears. I only felt it in my stomach. Everyone I knew became a stranger when I lost my language. And that just sort of resonated with the earlier one that Caleb read. This one, this next poem is untitled. It was, I woke up from a nap. When you're retired, you get to do that a lot if you want. And the poem just sort of poured out of me and just needed to be addressed. This was last month. We are all unarchived artists, and life a series of openings of Russian doll-like Pandora boxes that can't be closed and can't return to the original form. We drag our childhoods with us, clinging to our shoes like roots of English ivy entwined, while our heads smoke quietly, while our bodies struggle against a great perceived mass of void. Who are we when we complete our journey? Where are our voices singing collectively with all our former selves, but holding on to the sky, waving goodbye, like a lake of creative ideas, ever replenished and ever refreshed? We only see the shores of people. We only drink the gin and tonic, never the glass or the table it sits on, or so mightily occupying the room, our movement through it. We pick one note from a symphony of each other and call that the them that we know. But when we hold them close, our bodies hear what ears cannot: a hug, a touch, even a soldering of softening eyes that scatter light inside the diamond of each other and come back to us, magnified. And this one is a shorty just called Middle. Middle. Last touch, longing, that first tendril kiss, last wave goodbye, your first real teacher, last moment your baby is asleep next to you. We cherish the firsts and never really know when the lasts will hit. So easy to forget the weight of moments in the middle. And thank you. Next is about a couple of quick poems about characters, people I see, people I think I see. Like I say, you don't really know, but you make assumptions about or just feel in their presence. This one's called She Wants to Be Dangerous. There's an edge of hard nakedness of soul she longs for, like an icy plunge off the bridge over turbulent waters, a sexy point of no return, where birds are chewed by metal plane engines and bring down Flight 1459 from LaGuardia into freezing rivers, a knife that trees, a knife that frees the prisoner and threatens the jailer. She is sharp and bloody, trying to die by her own hand atop Mount St. Helens just before it explodes, like reading a book of poems. In this absurdity that flowers her life, reborn, dying. This poem is about Harold Marvis, who may not be his real name. It's called Harold Marvis Specializes in One-Star Reviews for Local Businesses. He comes in hot expecting the worst and creating it if he doesn't find it soon enough for his laundry basket soul. He has a standing prescription for distaste and believes that peace of mind is a dirty sticker on the bumper of a Chevy Cavalier. He vapes banana kiwi pie. From his throne of superiority, bedazzled with self-importance, he says the word pointless to me 5 times in 3 sentences. And somehow, the way he smiles when he cries, the careful cleaning of his toothbrush, and his love and knowledge of orchids still hasn't awarded him a boyfriend or friend at all yet. And this one is the last one, and I don't know whether I don't know. It's called How I Write a Poem. A poem about how I write a poem seems overly meta and specious and other made-up words. But it's how I write a poem in poem form. Title the idea. Right, noun is adjective, adjective, and adjective until it feels like something's there. Then go back and change every form of the verb to be into a meaningful verb phrase. Try to remove every sloppy occurrence of the word and while sifting spoonfuls of useless fly shit phrases right out of the poem, because my poem sits like an overweight American at a French outdoor bistro, demanding ketchup. Now comes the hard part. I reach into the shadowy mosquito larva dark waters of a subconscious barrel to dredge out any dreamy muck that I can plaster my poem with, to share up the lack of any real substance. Sometimes I know what that means, and mostly I don't. I continue to filter, sift, dredge, pat smooth, and cut away until I get a lyrical, not verbose answer. Then winnow down the bottom to show some conclusion that seems smart. Read the poem out loud, exposing it for the first time from the dark room to the world of butterfly tracks and hurricane tracks up the east coast of my spine. The sounds gotta hum like bees just before those suicide stings. Gotta float musically through the mind like I'm hanging damp laundry. Gotta chop the dry spaghetti of my thoughts crisply. Now I ask, is the world better off with this poem in it? And since I never know the answer, the poem lives to fight another day. Thanks so much, Caleb. Thanks so much, Sovereign Kava. And Leah, thanks for the inspiration. I really enjoyed the media work and appreciate that, and may try something like that myself. I appreciate it. And that's it. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Zen.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Appreciate you sharing.
I appreciate you offering the time to be able to do it.
Well, absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's an honor to get to do this open mic, and I do it so, you know, people have a place to share and do these kind of things. And one thing I love about your reading is how it sometimes these things end up being a conversation, and we sort of we get going, we see maybe themes or places of inspiration in each other's work, and just kind of keep that conversation going throughout the night.
It is a conversation. You know, all the poets I know are having a conversation, not with their poems, the poems with each other, and those poems to to another listener. You know, it's all intermixed, and we don't know where it's going to go. But
Yeah.
we pretend we do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know I do sometimes, but yeah, you know, sometimes it's good to admit that though, and just let it go where it will.
Yeah.
See where you end up.
Yeah.
But,
and I appreciate the poems that you read, you know, and finish up. Lorca, I absolutely love. I just can read again and again and get something new every time, you know. And Rumians.
Oh yes, of course.
Thanks.
Certainly. Well,
Yep.
Thank you, Zen. I really appreciate it, and please do come join us next week or whenever you can make it back.
I
we love
will.
having you, and take care out there. Stay safe.
I will. Thanks. You too.
Absolutely. Give it up one more time for Zen Sutherland. Yes. Indeed. And we're coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina tonight. Here we are, keeping it weird. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for all the likes, comments, and shares. Appreciate you. Thanks to the Kava Lactones for the theme music tonight. Thanks again to our featured poet, Leah Tiger. Please pre-order the book. You heard some work from it tonight, and it's going to be fantastic. We're looking forward to it. Also, keep in mind these are archived on Facebook and YouTube, so you can go back on YouTube. You can share starting at your performance. So we certainly encourage sharing of all kinds. And many thanks to Salve Kava for their support. If you're performing tonight, you get a free double shot. Stop by, be sure to wear a mask. They got cashless to-go orders at the to-go window. There we've kind of transitioned the bar to a safe setup there. Anyway, also birthdays tonight. Shout out to Tom Sheave, whose birthday it is. We wish you a very happy birthday. And y'all keep checking us out. We're here every Wednesday night. I do want to say we got a couple of spaces left tonight if anyone wants to jump in. We're also missing some people who signed up to perform tonight. So if you signed up to perform tonight, there is still time. Just make sure you follow that StreamYard link and enter the broadcast studio here so I know you're ready to go. And we'll get you on very soon. Cool. As always, we post the sign-up sheet Monday nights in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. And you can sign up in there to reserve an early spot and make sure you got a spot. Some nights it's really full, and some nights we have a little bit more time. So, you know, we just roll with it as it goes, and we appreciate everyone who takes part in it. Even if you're just at home watching, we appreciate it. Oh, yes. We got some comments here. Bunch of comments here for Zen. Thank you for the comments. And, yes. We encourage everyone to stay safe out there. And keep doing what you do. Keep making your poetry, your art, your creativity, whatever forms it takes, and we're happy to provide space for that here every Wednesday night. Nice. And yes, indeed. Very good. We got Steven here up next. Super excited to have this poet back in the house with us tonight. Part of the Warren Wilson crowd. It's always good to have Steven, and it's been a minute. So, awesome. Let's see if we can beam in Steve. Y'all know the drill. Jump up and down, make a whole bunch of noise.
Hi, Caleb. It's great to see you.
Hey, Steven, great to see you as well. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. A lot's been going on. Too much to go into, but
Oh, I know.
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
I've
Tell me
been.
about it. But you had some readings recently, right? Some online
Yeah,
readings.
yeah. I was. Well, I was in a fellowship earlier in the summer through a project in the Bronx that was originally going to be over there, but during this whole situation, it got sent remotely. So on the plus side, it like this event, it made it so it was online and more accessible. So I had a reading for that, and I've participated in a couple other events here and there.
It's
But
awesome.
yeah, I'm glad to be back here though. I haven't the last month I haven't really been able to be engaging as much. So it's good to be back here.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's great to have you back.
It's cut off, but I have a poetry shirt for the occasion. It says unreliable narrator on it. So that's
Nice. I love it. Well, cool. You got some new poems tonight, or
yeah, I
some
do.
tried and true
I
new
um
stuff.
I have one that I may have read here before, and two I know I didn't. I
Cool.
hope it's with. I think if I read it smoothly, it's about at time. I was
You
struggling with that.
you know that it's all right if you go a minute or two over tonight. With it's we don't have many performers left tonight. So unless
Okay.
anyone else wants a spot, jump in. But we're totally
Hmm.
good on time. So get into the poems, man, and
Awesome.
we'll sit
Yeah,
back and listen.
I'm excited to share these. I had a lot of fun writing and writing these new ones and getting back into this one that I think I might have read.
Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Steven. Everyone,
Yeah,
give it up for Steven.
great to see you. All right. Okay, cool. All right. This first poem begins with an epigraph that's from just the YouTube comment section of the video it references. Everyone's gangster till you realize you're crying over an ant. Huskia Chan, YouTube comment. This poem is called I wonder who in this apartment is listening to a compilation of the Hunter x Hunter 2011 ending themes. Sobbing. Definitely isn't me or anything. But don't we all know the way a melody can work its way into our marrow, swim between the blood cells, and sponge up a bit of that moment of who, right then, we think we are, tie a bit of our heartbeat to its own cadence? How, years later, it can play that person back into our body? When I play the theme, almost, the show's run hasn't ended. I am back in the buzz of possibility. The journey's throes still tight in my chest. Specifically, this character still hasn't found that character. That trope was just subverted, and the arc is still thrumming towards its luminous desolation. And there it is, there in an apartment I've long left, there across from the couch where I would recline with my boo, watching the ending theme, specifically the fifth one. Listen, it blooms through the speakers just before the credits roll. Just so, syncopating story and echo, washing me into the absurdity of the moment, washing me into its gravity. It grabs me with a touch I'd almost forgotten. Of course I hadn't. Of course it courses through each time like the last, or compounded, a wave on top of a wave. If it was a poem, we would study it. The whole series would be required reading. Imagine the fandom and the workshop. Scholars would argue about the exact way it makes a syncopation, the way it reflects the mood and creates it. Maybe there's a word for this. I know little of film. And I would still be waiting for the next arc, the next ocean to fill me. If a story never reaches its end, can it be anything? Frozen pizza with my love. Getting ready for a move, I sink my teeth into the cushy flesh of a Totino's party pizza. It flakes off like all-purpose dandruff, and lo, I'm 7 again, a sleepover in Gillespie Park. I bite down. I'm in middle school taking the microwavable pepperoni deep dish my mom bought at 7-Eleven this morning, running late, covering it in a healthy layer of my classmates' Oreos. My father is still a name with a face I know only fuzzily from a photograph or two. And of course, myself now makes its clumsy backstroke in much murkier, much less rock-strewn waters, though the salt still stings its eyes. I chew, and in my mind a friend stuffs a bag with VHS tapes and off-brand GameCube controllers. Then we paint my room with a cathode glow. We paint the whole night. As the next slice greets my teeth, it's Javi and Angel at my sleepover. Or maybe it's me over in Leslie's house. I'm playing with my first brothers or my first crush. They live in the apartment next door, or they live in the house 2 blocks down, or they live anywhere they lived when we were separated only by a parent's patience and their gas fund. When the waters were mostly warm. Yes, we're in the 2nd grade and we're in 7th, and my goofy body just dislodged that boulder of a TV from its arguably ill-advised perch in my bedroom, my arena. As it follows my fall with its own, we collide, screen to skull, and chatter absolutely nothing. Both armored stubborn, or maybe just not packed with the action movie force I pictured. And those overblown wrestling accidents are still my closest brushes with anything like mortality. My body tangling to other bodies like mangrove roots. We work to break each other's will, curating that hurt that skirts between submission and unintended damage. And our bodies tangle like the pizza tangles my memories, like my memories tangle my body to my body. And myself also tangles, also gets caught in the roots, but wriggles free with usually little water in its lungs. I take another bite. Angel's dog, Mia, aiming for the food bowl and finding flesh instead, bites him in the crotch. And she's still running around, peeing on the floor, running, yipping. Mia, Chiquita, and Mia all still run and yip. They all have puppies, and they're all puppies, and I'm still afraid of dogs and water. And Angel held a gun before, but still never used a gun. And still isn't locked up for using that gun. For now, the water laps louder, tugs, but still flows gentle, batters a different shore. For now, for me, that half of reality still lives in our video games, in our Thursday night throwdowns on A&E, or at least further down our block. Yes, my self's dam holds. It keeps the waters back, breaks the waves before the castle, before the sand crumbles. I still don't understand the ways migra and muerto come in pairs, or how a river can split land, and split land can dig through the toughest flesh of a heart. If we go further, the sand crumbles. The pizza's grease paints my guts, and somewhere powder paints Angel's barrel, and some blood paints the gravel. My boo takes a bite of the pizza I once worshipped, this wonder I went to share and found mostly in my memory, and I am a 20-something, months from my degree. The water now covers myself, so lucid, so mortal now. I'm so far away from Gillespie, from the neighbors who fed me gentler water in soil my father will never touch. I'm so far from after Javi picks me up, smiling at a bruise, from tiptoeing over Mia's puddled pee, her signs that yes, I'm here, I'm here. And Angel is still stuck somewhere in a cell. His family waits on the other side. And I know Leslie still lives north of a river, her family stuck on the other side. We're all so far from the ways I remember us, split by a river or by the darker vocabularies of time. So lucid, so mortal. And here I am with my boo, eating old memories in another vanishing home. Footnote. And after the meal, the pizza unravels in my gut. And what unravels faster anyway? The cardboard that once held a pizza, or all the moments I don't write down? And this last one is, well, it was really exciting to me to see Leah's very internet-inspired poetry at the end. And it happens that this last one that I picked is also very internet-inspired. This is called Ode to My Sister's Meme. Foreground. Strawberry baby cradled in a shell, and the disembodied hands of an angel, possibly, or maybe God. Oh, not a shell, a golden spoon. Shell gently in photoshopped hands, white, note, strawberry baby sleeps nestled in their not shell, in their golden spoon. And when I say strawberry baby, I mean literal strawberry baby. White head nestled, leaves adorning their neck, specklings of seeds. And when I say strawberry baby, I mean it's a little concerning there in a spoon. With leaves adorning their neck, specklings of seeds, they seem an easy target for hunger. A little thing, unconcerned in a spoon. I begin thinking this may be something close to the point. Yes, they seem an easy target for hunger, asleep in a sky turning quickly to night. Maybe that's the point. A prayer for a sunset, a night quiet enough to sleep outside. Asleep in a sky turning quickly to night. The strawberry baby carries my sister's hopes. A sunset, quiet night's sleep, outside the constant worries of the world. This strawberry baby bringing my sister's hopes on the internet. An angel, or, if possible, God. The constant worries of the world eclipsed by the foreground. A strawberry baby cradled. Note, the pictures of heaven are, even in Ecuador, so white. Can't leave that in a small moment I don't write down. Thank you.
Excellent.
Ooh, I love that
Thank
sound
you,
effect.
Stephen.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. Love
It was
hearing
really
the new
great.
work.
Thank you. I was really glad to finally have an opportunity to share that. It's been,
Absolutely.
yeah, I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with those.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and I love the one based on the YouTube comment too.
Thanks.
That's cool. Yeah, all sorts of inspiration these days.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
certainly glad you can join us, and I hope you can make it back next week or whenever you can. It's always
Yeah,
good to hear
definitely.
from you.
Yeah, it's great to hear from you too. Good to see you.
Yeah, certainly. Are you still in the Asheville area?
I am, but only briefly right now. I have to go move for the foreseeable future to help my mom for a while. And then I might be back eventually.
Cool. Well, I hope so, and I wish you the best of luck with all that.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Absolutely. Great to see you too, Steven. Y'all know the drill. Give it up one more time for Steven and Erhia.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. That's Steven. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Cool. Sorry about the audio issues. It's just been one of those weird technical nights. Y'all, everything working now, I think. Thumbs up. Cool. Yes. Awesome. Good. Cool. We're figuring out, it's certainly a new medium for me, and it's come a long way though, and I really appreciate everyone sticking with us, and appreciate your patience, and appreciate your support. Thank you, everyone. I see all the comments. It's wonderful. I appreciate everyone sharing, and appreciate all the likes, the reactions. We appreciate it. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook, and also on our sponsor, the Sovereign Kava Facebook page and the YouTube page. So check it out. Performers can share their performance with a timestamp via YouTube. Keep coming back each and every week. We post the sign-up sheet on Monday nights in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. Oh yeah, we're still waiting on a few more performers. If you're performing tonight, make sure to follow that StreamYard link and get in the group. Yeah, Gina, if you're out there, we'd love to hear from you. And Chase, anyone else who's signed? Oh, I don't think you can make it. Okay, cool. We do have Emilio coming up though here in just a minute. I'm gonna do another translation or two from the Spanish of Federico Garcia Lorca, since we were talking about him. Fine poet, huge inspiration to me, one of the greats. Cool. Some more. We got some more comments here for Steven. Thank you, Steven. It was a beautiful reading. And again, the conversation going. I love hearing the conversation between poems from different poets. Poets who may have never even met before. And we hear these conversations running like veins through the work. Absolutely, thank you. It is my absolute pleasure to do this for y'all, and we certainly appreciate you tuning in and appreciate your support. We have a different feature poet every Wednesday night, and thanks again to our feature poet tonight, Leah Tiger, whose new book you can pre-order from the link right there on the screen, which is also posted in the comments on the video, so check that out as well. Yes. Alright. I'm gonna do this poem. This goes out to my Kava people. This is from Garcia Lorca. This is Guzzle of the Bitter Root. There is a bitter root in a world of 1,000 terraces. Not even the smallest hand breaks through the door of water. Where do you go? Where? There is a sky of 1,000 windows, battle of livid bees, and there is a bitter root. Bitter. It hurts down in the sole of the foot, the inside of the face. It hurts in the fresh tree trunk at night, recently cut. Love, my enemy, bite into your bitter root. Let me do one more here, and then we'll beam in Emilio. And if anyone else is performing tonight, make sure to get that link. Pretty much last call for performers, so get it while the getting's good. And if not, we hope to hear from you next week. This is not the one I was going to do, but I'll do it anyway. This is Guzzle of Desperate Love. Night does not want to come, so that you will not come. But I cannot go. But I will go. Even though a son of scorpions eats me at the temple. But you will come. With your tongue burned by the salty rain. Day does not want to come, so that you will not come. But I cannot go. But I will go. Surrendering to the toads my masticated carnation. But you will come through the murky sewers of darkness. Neither night nor day want to come, so that you die. And you die for me. That's from Garcia Lorca's Divan del Tamarit, which is a beautiful book, a mystical book that was inspired by the Oriental poetry of his time, and which was actually Persian poetry, really, ghazals and qasidas, and those are his takes on those forms. And the ghazal is a particularly popular form in English these days. But he has quite a different take on the form, which I like, you know. I mean, forms are forms, but know the rules so you can break them, right? Anyway, I think we got Emilio coming up here next. We're having a really fun night. Thank you for joining us. And please keep supporting the Sober Mike, support Salva Kava, and sign up and perform. We love hearing from people from all over the place. That's one of the silver linings in all of this, is that we get to bring in our friends from all over now. So, gracias. All right. I know we got Emilio coming in to blast us with some good poetry. Y'all know the drill. Jump up and down, make a whole shit ton of noise for Emilio Maldonado, live from Humboldt Park in Chicago.
What up, what up, what up?
Emilio, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm wearing what, who knows, maybe this will be like a Boy Scout emblem in a few years.
What is that?
It's like a Chinese army, hat. I'm sure it's totally official.
Oh, very cool.
Like I could go, Beijing, and like they'd let me into the fucking, to the Forbidden City, like that, because.
Did you get that when you were there? You were in China, right?
I was in China. I was there for 3 weeks, but this actually was purchased by a buddy of mine, and then he lost this kick-ass hat of mine that I got in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Motherfucker just disappeared that shit. So I'm like, well, yo, it's not like I can just go to fucking Circuit City and just go buy this hat again. And he's like, oh, bro, my bad. Hold on. And then he ran upstairs and he came and gave me this hat. He's like,
okay.
And I'm like, for real? Are you kidding me? Like, I didn't buy this hat when I was there. What makes whatever, man? All right.
Well, at least you got something for it.
Yeah, this is, I think, the second or third time I've actually worn it. I mean, where somebody could see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it looks good on you, man. You look very official tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, right? My official fur. My official, yeah. Hey, man.
Well,
check this
it's
out.
good as shit to see you, man. What's up?
I am drinking this
Nicaraguan
rum.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That is good. I've had that. Yeah,
I haven't had this in so long. I forgot. And it's nice. Over here,
excellent.
In Chicago, there's so many Latinos that, and it's funny. Like last year, I did this music and poetry set at this like Latin Music Fest
Oh,
in Chicago. It was at
Good.
Navy Pier, which is like this huge like tourist spot. But it was like bad weather, so we got really minimal turnout. But the cool thing is that I was still got to perform, and then I got to hang out in the green room, and I was bullshitting with all these like musicians and artists, and like me and this queer Argentine rapper. No, yeah, Argentine. No, I'm sorry, Colombian rapper. Like we became homies. Like we were like, just because I was like one of the few people that knew who the hell she was that wasn't a lesbian, you know. And her and I were like chatting up a bit. And she's like, "Where are you going next?" I'm like, "I'm gonna be there. That's all I know." But I was talking to all these other cats from like Southwest and West, and they had no idea that Chicago is as Mexican as it is. Like they just, I mean, they were here and they're like, you guys like have more than one brand of tortilla? Like what? Like Mexicans didn't know how Mexican Chicago is,
Right. No, it's
funny,
Yeah, no, big Mexican population, and then that's your heritage is Mexican.
That's right.
But Humboldt Park though is more Puerto Rican, right?
Humboldt Park is the Puerto Rican neighborhood in Chicago.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. I live on the main street. It's called Division, and in this one section it's like a half a mile section of Division. There's these two 60, 70 foot tall, like steel sculptures of the Puerto Rican flag as arches, entering and exiting this strip of the street.
Yeah.
And this section of it is called Paseo Boricua, which means the Boricua is like a slang term, but a self-identifying term for a Puerto Rican. Kind of like a paisa might be like something I'd say like, I'm a paisa, meaning I'm a Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
Boricua is like even more specific,
Yeah.
And
I always struggled with the Puerto Rican dialect, so I do well with this Spanish and I can get by with Mexican Spanish, but the Puerto Rican's like it's a much kind of a faster dialect, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's Caribbean, but it's also it's got just like all these like island vibes, so same thing with Cuban, or parts of like Central America, like Panamanians who I would say Panamanians identify even more Caribbean than like South American. So they have this huge like fast way of talking. And when I was a kid, even though I spoke Spanish, if we had a Cuban neighbor and he would say something to me and I'd like look at him and I'd look at my grandma like, I don't know what this motherfucker said.
Right? Yeah, it's like a totally different language.
Yeah. No, it took me until like my well into adulthood to finally be able to like, I know what everybody just said, not like I heard three words, But yeah, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans. I dated a Dominican woman.
Oh yeah.
That was great because I learned all these different words for.
Right, you learn new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then that's what I love about the Spanish language. Is all the totally different forms of it, and I probably because I'm a native speaker, but I don't hear it that much with English. But I have heard from like some of my friends in the UK, like the Southern dialect, for example.
You know what?
Even some Northerners cannot understand what some Southerners are saying in English.
I watched a movie that made a joke of it, and then I watched like other movies that were like one of those like kind of English for English only. Like they know no one's gonna give a fuck about these movies, so like they have all the actors with, like the thickest ass accents, and I'm like watching it, and I'm like, man, fuck this, subtitles. All right, caption. All right, what are these guys saying?
English subtitles, yeah. No, I hear you, man. But it's fascinating, I love talking about language, and I love examining. I wish I knew more about linguistics.
Let me tell you this.
Fascinating.
When you can, go to Colombia.
I would love to.
It's the people are really lovely
I've been to
and
Spain
beautiful,
and Puerto
beautiful.
Rico and California, but I've never been to Colombia. That would be great.
Yeah,
I
man.
heard it's a beautiful place.
I was only there like 9 days, but man, and only in Bogota and Medellin. So I didn't get to go to Cali or there's like 5 main cities. There's it's
Mhm.
a great old like early salsa tune like las cinco novias, which is like the 5 cities. It's like this
Mhm.
great like old like chill salsa tune, and it's
That's
like
great.
Barranquilla, Bogota,
Mhm.
Medellin.
Mhm.
Uh, man, I forget the other 2, but it's
I
like
don't know either.
it's like the lyric of the songs, like "Y Bogota," So anyway, man.
I love it, man. Well, I know you got some good poetry for us tonight.
Well, I got some poetry. Hey, uh, hit me up after this because I want to chat with you about later.
Oh yeah, let's do it for sure.
But
For
also,
sure.
uh, I got to get better organized, and it's not on you, but I just want to make sure that I'm really trying to get a bunch of poets from Chicago. Like we're gonna do like I want to do it so it's like we all come in one night. So it's like here's like maybe 3 or 4 like
Let's do
Chicago
it.
punks and shit, man.
I would love that.
It would
Yeah.
be fun.
I've always had a great time in Chicago, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the poet. I got a lot of good friends from Chicago.
So I
And
want to do that. Like I
that'd be
haven't
great.
like I got to get more on top of people. Like, do you want to do this, bro?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
rally
yeah,
them
yeah.
up and bring them in, man. Come take it over for a night,
I'm
and
psyched. Bro.
let's do a Chicago night for sure. Um, nice. Got the salsa going.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a few records depending on how long. So this
Sounds
is
good. Well, hey, we got
really cool.
time, so I'm just gonna turn it over to you. I'll let you do your thing, Emilio.
All right,
Very nice.
that's his plan. Right. Go ahead, man. I'm ready. I got my stuff.
All right,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Hey, everyone at home or wherever you are, you know the drill. Jump up and down, shout, and make a whole shit ton of noise for Emilio Maldonado.
Saludos to sorry. Right in. Saludos to everybody. Sacred rivers, places and names. A mountain speaks, asks for its tribute, gets lost in delusion. Fearsome, terrible, and old, it is lost to us. Prayer wheels and sacrificed children, robes, briefcases, and tomes. Keep the blood flowing. Spitting the unknowable, it's figured out. Looking at the mountain as vistas, slopes. Y los de abajo para sentirse más arriba. It's easy to say, I say, in the hut, amongst the tribe. We speak Gulo and Cuauhtémoc when our shoulders are young and knees still bend. Nightly ofrendas get illuminated by GE and sacrifices made of blue lights. Ya no se prenden velas in this land beneath the mountain. Sacred rivers got creeked and hydroelectrified. Reclaimed for strawberry fields, smoothies. No one takes a knee. We sit on our asses. De rodillas, siempre suplicados a la chamba. Peregrinos al H&M. Dejamos las alas a favor de un 4x4. Decir las gracias. Ven acá. Coño. Va a bailar. Como Ciela le enseñó a José. This isn't yours. It's ours. Treat it accordingly. The difference, the privilege, the letdown, betrayal, constant thing we call white people bullshit is this. Y'all, if I were there, I woulda. I'm gonna. I didn't know. I didn't hear. Are you sure? How did he say? Touch. Where were they standing? Are you upset? Don't take it personally, ever. Back burner us. Make us wait or deny us justice. A fake diversity pom-pom. Hit us with your post-racial billy clubs. Shoot us with your transparency sidearms and extra capacity magazines. Firebomb our churches with your thoughts and prayers. And so let's catch an overseer house, bro. Bendido. Proud to wear the blue, white line of blind justice. We ain't your. We. Y'all have President Day mattress sales about it. Our heroes, our fatherland fathers, the destiny manifestors, wear green and white portraits. This ain't about being woke. Y'all been wide awake. It's us. Wake up from this nightmare of distrust, violence, and injustice. And wake up, wake up, wake up, up you wake. Y'all been awake. You just stay ignoring it. Your treacherous and murderous indifference, your tepid seriousness, it's your police, it's your government, it's your land, this fucking bloody sea. Bailalo tú. Residential rooftops over. Rooftop all day. Was drifting to an afternoon en una silla. Comiendo mango con cuchillo, bolillo y Fanta roja. El sol brillante, la ropa y sábanas tendidas. Y yo en el sótano de mi tía en Tarimoro. Cuna de mi papá y los Maldonado. Mi tía me decía que estuviera más a gusto en la sombra, pero no era corrida de toros. Yo, sin prisa y profundamente desesperado de los rayos solares del cielo mexicano. A gusto, feliz, comiendo mi almuerzo de habanil, sharing that rooftop with the crowd, rapping about life in the cosmos, engaged, but also lifted to a concrete memory, surrounded by hummingbirds, rags, socks, and calzones. Quisiera sentir otros feelings. Es muy temprano para las pinches blues. Invisible tattoos mark me for those que tienen el ojo. Separado, separándome, abandonado. El amor es un primo que me debe dinero y perdió my number. A keyboard bangs out another Fats Domino, New Orleans strolling tug. or a stroll with the hug. Depends where you're at. At the quarter, I guess. Twist and dip, size each other up for each other's beds. I make meaningless eye contact. La neta, doña Chabela, me salva y me parte en pedazos que nunca se van a reunir. No aguanto otra época dura. Así solo se venden, amigo, me contestan. Solo así, hey. 10 o'clock Hearst is Black Western Avenue. There's no beer tub, girl. Esto es grito time. Vaya con Diosito time. Noche larga y no te dejas que se acaba la bebida time. Mírame. ¿Cómo soy? Solo así hay. Solo. Freestyle growl. Sometimes. Somebody else made a piece of music or a piece of art or a film that serves as a love letter you can use for someone you haven't met, or someone that's just going to come along, or someone that's been around, or somebody who used to be in but wasn't and is now and is out and is dancing and playing fucking scotch or going tap dancing or going tap dancing or Pachisi or fucking Yahtzee on other people's strings of lives, of pearls. And string's a string. And it's string theory. And it's just Adam Devine with a new beard. And people are going, that's ridiculous. Or that's awesome. And you know it's just 2099 and 1934 and Groans and Azure or Teal or Sea Green and Coral Reefs. Just that doing the thing. And it doesn't matter how many broken hearts you had, or how many times you stubbed your fucking toe, or took your toys and went home, didn't get no jelly in your donut. How many times you decided to play drums and all you could muster was spoons. But stars are stars. And kids, they got bars. And squads roll deep. Whiskey shouldn't, but can be sour. Corona is almost like an embarrassing summer. Spotlights like to warm a room, sweat a brow, illuminate late night thoughts, illuminate indistractable moments of shadows, and that glisten shit that happens with your eyes. And then there's candles and a neckline. We can't even talk about that shit that much. So I once wrote a poem, and I almost never really give my poems any names. But I wrote this poem, and I think only someone like my age or older really could understand why I call this Harry Dean Stanton. Sometimes I'm scared of my thoughts. I don't like where they go. I am ashamed of what they say about me. Sometimes I can't stop confusing myself, fooling myself. Like drinking shoe polish, it's an unwelcome moment. Everybody has bad weather. One more glass of Makers that'll put me in zombie mode. We have no secret language. A relationship of negative zone interactions. 3 black holes trying to fill each other up with the usual of drugs, booze, and fucking. Beautiful lies. Of all the things we never said to one another, some were more painful just to hear. Not to hear. I'm sleeping and it's shitty alone. Now I feel like a whore. It's late and I'm broke. Ever the sadist, I sit in the dark and I confess to thoughts of you. This doesn't please anybody in my bed. You broke Chicago for me. Didn't I bleed enough? Beg, scream, a rage for sale. A dream on the stroll, getting on scab knees to suck smelly cock in an alley. It's my turn. Next to me is a woman that never put on a mask to hide the ugliness. You'd like her. We have no secret language. Never trying to hide how ugly she is. Braver than me. I'm supposed to say some words in Spanish right now. Ugh. Ay, qué bonito es volar a las 2 de la mañana, a las 2 de la mañana. Y ay, qué bonito es volar, ay mamá. Volar y dejarse caer en los brazos de tu hermana, en los brazos de tu hermana. Y hasta quisiera llorar. Me agarra la bruja, me lleva al cartel, me vuelve a maceta, me da de comer. Me agarra la bruja, me lleva al cerrito, me siento en sus piernas, me da de besitos. Ay, dígame, dígame, dígame usted, ¿cuántas criaturitas se ha chupado usted? Stole my heart away, broke the cello for me. I'm lulled to sleep in the sway of the curves of your ass. Your embrace is summer afternoon drowsiness. It's July dust. Sweat glistens on your back, your neck, my neck. You stay wet from us. Bite my ear. Dig your nails into me. I deserve to be punished. Someone else is fucking you and you love it. I lay awake, exhausted, delirious. At least I still think about you. Oblivion holds no peace, no welcome for me. Y ahora sí, maldita bruja, ya te chupaste a mi hijo, ya te chupaste a mi hijo, y ahora sí, maldita bruja, y ahora le vas a chupar, y a tu marido el ombligo, y a tu marido el ombligo, y ahora le vas a chupar. Love me crazy. I want magic. I want desperate in your voice. So you realize what I already have. We will both die one day. You realize that you got me. Hug my neck when you come. Hug my neck when we dance. Hug my neck because sometimes I feel like wandering away. All right. Ooh. This is I've read this a lot here, and I know why. But also, I'm trying to get better at reading it the right way. Charity. My first ashtray. Burlesque. Begin to beguile. Big full lips. Marking my neck. My face. My shirt. My neck. Yours. Oh. Oh my. You gotta go. I mean, home. To your bed. Real soon. Icebergs and ghosts. Purple jumpsuits. Big, heavy titties. What am I thinking? What the fuck took you so long? Breathed, sighed, and drained of self-dignity. This booming thought, oh wow, this is the crazy I miss. I was. She's beautiful. She's a disaster. She can see right through my bullshit. She's so fucking dirty. She has tiny lips. I want to. She's not happy being unhappy. She's drinking her way to anger, numbness, and dice rolling. A human Bermuda Triangle. Wait for me. Icebergs. Ghosts. How's that? You guys feel like another poem? Let me get a...
Yes.
Yeah. Hey. What's up, brother?
Dude, loving it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You got another one?
Yeah. That's what I was asking. Is it okay if I do another one?
Totally, man.
All right. Give me a second. So this poem, first time I read it, I actually started a fight, which was between me and somebody who heard it. It wasn't because this offended him. It's because he did a poem very similar to this, and then when I went up and did this, he thought I was trying to show him up because it was a better poem than his dumbass. And then he wanted to try to fight me, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight you. A plague of authenticity hovers over all of us Mexicans. To drink and fight, to humiliate women, to Katrina, Calavera, Bigote, silly fucking haircuts, and now fresh gear, el otro. Para hacer más y más, y tal vez nos dicen, Max o Mac. Trangazos, chingazos, plomazos, la quebradita, partir la cabeza, romperte el culo, toda madre desmadre, hijo de su puta, pinche verga, coyotes, cerdos, los perros, ladrones echando habladas, maquillajeado con un hiri, labios de paleta, de tambarindo, golpes de estado, golpear la piñata, tu padre golpea a tu madre, rincón maya, café de olla, barro, lodo, 30-30, el Bronco, el norte, la frontera, los barrios que se venden, este barrio no se vende, se defiende, los vendidos, el chamuco, nos olvidamos de chacmul, ofrendas, televisores, autobuses, hijas y hijos con nombres como Sharon y Mark y Kevin, olvidando de Enriqueta y José Alfredo, Valentín. Escogimos a otra Lili en lugar de un Fitis. Perdimos la chata. Celebramos el Chapo. Insurgentes una calle. Peor que la isla. Un Chevrolet Bronco, leche de vaca, cabeza de vaca. Gente indígena celebrados por unos pasos chamanes. Disfraz. Para una semana y las vacaciones y qué después. Antojitos mexicanos, pueblos olvidados, los 43. Sí. No, por supuesto. Hasta tengo la playera. ¿Y los homicidios? Che, ni sé cómo decirlos en español. ¿Qué es eso? Ni me la sé si no hay novela. Ni me la sé si no está en el Face. El Facebook. Los bookies. El bookie. Bigotón, peludo, millonario. Ídolo. Ídolos de piedra, de lujo, de oro. Rayos X. Puro cáncer. Podrido. Lastimado. No se me olvida de la flor. Puro nostalgia. Tómate este vino conmigo. All right. Uy.
Yeah. Thank you, Emilio. You can hear me, right?
Oh, I can hear you very good.
Okay, good.
I'm just wing at that. That's not only Buddy Guy over this way to me, but I enjoyed the fuck out of how I read that time. You ever have that happen where it's like you enjoying the shit out of it? It's not like you're having you're doing a good job at it. It's like, no man, I'm enjoying this motherfucker right now.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, you should. I mean, it's good poetry. It should feel good coming out, and when you say it right, you know. I know.
Yeah.
We all work on that, but really great reading tonight, and I love poets who focus on the sound of focus on how poems sound in the air. And not just confined to the page, because
you're like poetry.
That. I try to be. Thank you. I mean, poetry
you are,
is really
man. I mean,
an oral tradition. Absolutely,
of course, exactly.
I read all my poems aloud when it's part of my editing process. It has to live in the air and off the tongue, because.
Right, you gotta. It's like you gotta let it tell the truth. You have to tell the truth to it as well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an honesty thing. You know, you can't lie to the poem. You know?
You know, as a matter of fact, that was I took an acting class a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really early, young dude. You know.
Yeah.
Right when I was definitely okay, I'm writing all the time now. I'd already read out loud. Say I probably had read out loud for at least maybe 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I took this acting class, and it was like this. It was almost like the method acting, like it was in that ballpark. So there was different exercises we would do, which were fucking kick ass.
Right.
And one of them that really influenced my writing it's called repetition. And as soon as I feel something with you, the more honest I am, the stronger my realness is coming through, versus I'm telling you a lie or I'm hiding something, and then now I'm frozen and stiff. And then you got to repeat it back to me, and we play this volleying of the word back and forth until an emotion happens, and then someone owns it and then changes the emotion. And I did it one of the times. At first, I was getting all this praise, "Oh, Emilio, that's so good," and I was very just in. I've always been "Hey, I respect you as a teacher. You tell me what to do, I'll knock that wall down. If you tell me I can hit it with my head, and it'll go down." It's
sure.
I'm super that way. Same when it comes to and.
Yeah,
so
if you got something to teach me, go for it. Yeah.
So this dude was giving me this encouragement. So I'm man, I'm on cloud fucking 30. I'm oh man, wow, yeah, really? Yeah, okay. I kind of wanted to act, and really, you think I could do whatever, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I get up there with the prettiest girl in her class, right? And she's just one of the in this older man than I really am, one of them bodies I'll take to my grave. And so instead of exactly owning the thing, I said and right away, the teacher's like, stop. He's like, that like? What do you mean like? And I'm like, and I'm already like fucking red faced from saying, oh, I like you, you know, to somebody I don't really know at all, right?
Yeah.
So then he's just like, no, man, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, like, no, that's bullshit. Come on, make it stronger. And I said something attractive. You know, I kept on like going around it, and he kept on stopping it. Like he wouldn't let me be able to pass it off. He's like, no, stop. So I'm like getting madder and madder, and he's, you know, he keeps on challenging me on what I'm saying, and finally, like, he stopped the one time, and I fucking blow up like, what the fuck you want me to say anyway, man? And he started laughing. He's like, okay, that's real.
Exactly.
Where are you at now? And I'm like, fuck, you know.
No, it's funny when you were saying that, I was thinking like as in the simile, and how usually the metaphor is stronger. You get rid of the like, you know, it is this thing, you know. But I think that's really kind of the same thing you were saying.
Yeah, and you
Just
know, so
now.
then after class, he talked to me. He's like, okay. Look, I know you're really doing this. Like you're. So he's like, all right, check it out. When you run into that situation of like, if you have any doubt in what you want to say, you have to say the hardest thing of all of those feelings, because that's the most honest thing about how you feel. And I remember I was like, oh shit. And I took that to my writing, and that's where my writing went from kind of stylized to my style. You know, like I was saying more like cool lines and kind of interesting metaphors, but I wasn't yet like I was like I wasn't trying to like be cool. It was just like this just difference from in that, like, man, I'm pouring my heart into this, and I'm pouring my vulnerability into this. You know? It's like, yeah, your vulnerability is a part of your heart, but when you like get more exposed, that's when it's just like, oh fuck. You know? So when that happened, it was like my writing just like took this like, hey, now I feel like I'm actually writing the way I feel like I should write, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I see all kinds of like cross references there. You know,
Yeah.
I was fortunate to get to study a little bit with the great drummer Jeff Sipe, and he told me you can never lie when you're playing, when you're really up there playing.
Yeah.
When you're drumming, it's whatever. It's always gonna come through.
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
When I think it's the same thing with poetry, really.
Yes.
I mean,
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, I really appreciate all that.
Yeah.
And it's great having you here. It's always good catching up with you.
Yeah, man. This is my one of the highlights of my week, man.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't believe it with how like I always show up last minute and get here at the end, but this is, you know.
Oh no, I know you got a lot going on, and I'm just glad you can make it.
No, man, no. I'm just saying, I'm just, you know, it's like I was like, oh man, I look forward to it, and then it's like, motherfucker, you show up 2 hours late. Then
where are you at, dog?
Yeah, what's up? But Chicago's big, but you know, it ain't no fucking Cannonball Run. Like, what's
I know you ain't going that far.
Exactly.
Right.
Like what, dude? Like what? You gonna go make the tamales? Come on now.
Oh, you're the man, Emilio.
Yeah,
there's more comments for you too. We still got comments rolling in here.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's other people that are they're losing at dice. Is that what happened?
No, they love your fucking work, man.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
and we're chilling here. We're listening to it. I'm drinking some good ASHEViLLE beer.
I'm gonna go get a beer right now.
Yup.
Good talk.
Indeed.
Big ups. Up. to Morgan.
Thank you.
Whoop, whoop.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you giving the shout out. You know Morgan.
Morgan.
Morgan's like the best
Yeah.
dude in the world, and he's our technical director for Poetry Open Mic
Yeah.
Asheville now.
So this is like a, watching. It's like the video quality is subject to whatever they got in front of them, but in terms of like the show and like the smoothness of it and the orderly shit.
Well, thank you, man. We've really been working hard on it. Morgan and I have been putting our heads together, and it's, we had to learn all this stuff. I mean, this live stream broadcasting. I was like, when everything got canceled, yeah, totally. When everything got canceled, I'm like, oh, I'll just jump on Facebook and go live and do this thing. No, not that simple.
Yeah,
you got to totally rethink your production and
I remember like those
kind of learn broadcasting.
Yeah. No, but it's
still getting there.
I like your Son of Sanguli set. Like your version of your the Son of Sanguli. So it's like over your right shoulder. I keep on thinking that's like a stove pipe from like an old school like. There's like a pillar there, like there's like a black.
It actually is, man. This new place I got has a wood stove in it.
Stop!
A genuine wood stove, man. It's not a gas log.
Man, I was like, come on, you know that shit ain't that. Well, like, it's that country, and it's like.
No, it's not a backdrop, man. I live in a cabin in the mountains of Asheville. We got a wood stove here.
No shit.
I'd have it fired up if it weren't like 90 degrees here right now.
I just thought my eye, I thought like I was making the shadows be, it's like, yeah, man, that was Godzilla, bro. Godzilla came at me. It's like Godzilla, that was
you're not
bro.
hallucinating that much.
Yeah. Hey. Oh man.
Shit, man. We got to get together whenever we can work it out and things are safe. And I'll catch up with you and we'll figure something out. But
yeah. I know we'll talk. Because I want to get specific about it because like, I really, and it's not like I need to get out of Chicago. It's not that. I don't want to be in Chicago on my birthday because I just want to be somewhere else.
Right.
But not like I want to reject Chicago. Like I want to be somewhere. It's like
I feel you.
I'm somewhere else.
Sometimes you got to get out, and a lot of times, I'll kind of get in the drudgery here, and then when I get out in Asheville for a little while, I go to AWP or I go see Josh in Portland or my folks in LA or something like that.
Right.
I come back and I have a renewed appreciation for it. Yeah, I mean, as simple as it sounds, I mean, it really does. It helps to get out of your box every now and then.
Fuck, man. I mean,
kinda,
oh my God, yeah. That's one like nice thing about living in a big city is that you don't have to travel far sometimes to get in the different box.
True.
Yeah.
But Asheville can be kind of a bubble, but I mean, Chicago, you can live lifetimes there and not see it all. I mean, I guess the same here. And there's a million little waterfalls and things around here. You can never see it all, but
yeah. No,
you know what I'm saying.
I do.
But it's good to still be able to do this and catch up on Wednesday nights. And
this is I really think it's one of the kind of will be remembered sort of unsung heroes of what helped the poetry scene continue in Asheville, and the open mic, but also just for a lot of people, it's going to be this like, it'll be that like listen to Wolfman Jack on the late night radio, and like, holy fuck, man, I was there. I watched that rock and roll show. I saw that Stream Love, and I just kind of like do it that That I think it's that meaningful that it's so intentionally about connecting and sharing. And I mean, like, damn, I mean, how obvious is it? Like, you're still hosting it. This isn't like you're not doing like okay, you've been on from you see like 2 hours. You're not sitting there and going, so here's 2 hours of me. You know, like you're not doing like all these like
Not
you're
all
you're,
y'all.
you're making a show, and but a showcase. So, bro,
Thank you, my man. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Just getting everyone together and seeing what happens.
just keeping it going. That's the
Yep.
best thing that you
That's
guys
what we're
do.
doing.
Yeah.
Keeping it going for whatever it's worth. And I think some people appreciate it.
But you're keeping
tonight.
people going, I think is what I'm getting at. You're keeping people going. That's what I mean.
Well, thank you. And it's reciprocal. The people keep me going.
Yeah.
If no one else was here tonight, I sure as hell wouldn't be doing it.
Big ups to Asheville for sure. Big ups to the Kava bar for the home, and
Yeah, big shout
like,
out.
like whatever.
No, for real.
Yeah. No,
Real-
fuck yeah.
Speaking the truth, man. And I definitely appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming by tonight, Emilio.
My pleasure.
And yeah, I hope you can make it back next week. And I'll catch up with you here in a little bit.
Yes.
And everybody out there, we still got a bunch of people watching, so
Cool.
jump up and down, scream and shout, give it up for Emilio Maldonado coming at you from Humboldt Park in Chicago tonight. Make a whole bunch of noise. Thank you, Emilio.
Peace.
Peace. Yes, indeed. That's our good friend Emilio Maldonado coming at us tonight. Thank you all for joining us tonight, wherever you are in the world. We're here in Asheville, chilling out, keeping it real, doing the poetry, keeping the vibes going. Poetry, music, comedy, experimental art, whatever you got. Join us here and bring it every Wednesday night. We do the sign up in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook from Monday till Wednesday. Get in there and reserve a spot while the getting's good. I think we had a few other people, but I don't see them tonight, so hopefully y'all can make it next week. And I'm gonna close things out with a few poems. Of course, thanks again to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. Keeping it real in Asheville. If you perform tonight, you got a free double shot waiting on you at the Kava bar. Make sure to wear a mask and, check them out. They're working hard for y'all down there, keeping it real. And we're keeping Asheville weird. This is Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Yes, indeed. Cool. Thanks a lot, y'all. Hey, I want to give a big thanks again to our featured poet tonight, Leah Tiger, joining us from LA. She's got a new book coming out, which you can pre-order, and I encourage you to pre-order the book and support this great literary press, Deep Vellum, and Leah Tiger. Check it out. It's Circle Back. It's coming up next month, so pre-order the book now. We've got the link posted in the comments as well. Of course, many thanks to the Kava Lactones for our theme music tonight. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram. They've also got live shows available on archive.org. Shout out to my bandmates. Kava Lactones is Chris Cooper, Max Milner, Aaron Price, Jason Moore, and big shout out to Rob McConnell and Neil also, who sits in with us. It's always great having y'all. Shout out to everyone who performed tonight. Shout out to my friends down at the Kava bar. And yeah, check out Leah's work. I'm gonna read a few poems. Y'all fucking rock. This is Song of the Dirt Salesperson. But the others who just seem to come to discover or wander watches the machines of grace, watches the dumb sky, the mute grass. But the others in wonder have come to discover what was theirs all along, though they can never own it. None of the sky, none of the grass, none of it cares. The one who cares destroys it, and the one who doesn't care destroys it. But the others will come to discover and wonder, and the others will wonder. This is the future. I dreamt of a planet inhabited by giant mushrooms, colonies of spongy umbrellas. Walk among them. Red rivers of algae, white fungal strands on the ocean's surface and strewn upon the yellow beaches. No longer a blue planet, but many colors, some that can't be seen. Mushrooms growing out of waterfalls, coursing through the rock, emanating in bursts of life, ecstatic. Smart mushrooms that know thoughts and spread hands, have grown legs, move through electricity, eat any substance. A whole planet, connected, intelligent. Sure, a prophet lives in Taos. There's church there. Jesus, her only lover. The church holds the solace of an old shoe. It moves, too, like Burnham wood, and so her death must be riding. Time leaves her memories about the lawn melting, ice sculptures in the sun. The day turns to fog, and she hears music, dancing as bright roses do. It's raining again. This is called Johnson's Small Fruit Farm. The old man at Hump Mountain said Mr. Johnson passed away last night. He'd been sick for a while. Miss Johnson says she's done with the farm. I remember picking raspberries the size of strawberries, buckets full of blueberries, crisp apples that snapped when you bit into them. They didn't grow watermelons. No jackfruits hang in that little mountain orchard. No cantaloupes. My friend Richard Jarrett reminded me of the Richard Brodigan quote where he says of trout fishing in America, I always wanted to end a book with the word mayonnaise. So that's how I feel about that. What else we got here? This is called Coalition Forces. For now, there's nothing left in the world but sorrow. Something reaches up from within and grabs hold of my lungs. Newborns wail and shadows glide along hallway ceilings and hospitals. A million amoebas fill my lungs. In a puff, firecrackers flash and pop, drifting dead back to earth. Arsenic and sulfur swirl in my lungs. Whirling dust blows across the Sawato Desert, the lazy train stations, and blue coal mines. Dust that settles in my lungs. Deep in the woods, moss-covered stones sit in circles, significance forgotten. Mildewed leaves enter my lungs. There's no need to cover yourself. We're all just naked bodies swimming in the womb of the world. I breathe you into my lungs. If I die soon, I won't relent. Without wealth, we ran along hilltops. I exhale from my lungs. Child watches. The cliff faces. Mercy of canyons. I am a leaf in the waterfall where the birds are fleeing. I follow the trails, a market of emptiness. Black curtains possesses, where the marks of life appear. Sun setting on day gone too soon. Ambitions become a secondary stillness. The night we have become. As we linger on the facets, tiny details in the poems we carve, never knowing if the choices are right. In the end, did we love right? Sand never falls the same way twice. What comes are visions and skeletons, sliced snake, moans in the next room, reminders of a story once. I downed several beers at a Chili's across the street, and this is why I had to leave. Minneapolis is full of ghosts. I stayed in a hotel near the airport in the Mall of America, where the rooms were all named after the tribes that were cleared for the hotels to be built. A totem pole stands in a courtyard where we huddle and smoke on a gray, rainy night. The tribes around here didn't have telephone totem poles, says Gretchen, when she picks me up the next day. I can't believe there's still a hotel out here like that. I said I was surprised, too. There are ghosts that roam the plains where there used to be herds, great wilderness, people who lived in towns of earth. Down the highways, aging hotels, places have memories. Along the strange, carpeted hallways and the noiseless curtains, the traces of those who have come and gone. The hotels with their stale, white sheets cover where there once was. This is called Really Good Sex. An old blind woman in Mongolia is suddenly stricken with sight. And the next poem I'll do, I don't know what I did with it. I think I got it though. This is called Lost Scene. I think I got it. Well, all I can think of is the Alhambra, which goes archway upon archway. Fountain reflected sunlight folds into muqarnas and arabesques. Moors built these palaces and gardens as a replica of heaven, where the sound of water, so scarce in their world, can be heard in every corner and corridor. A constant zikr. A single feather lies on the stone floor. wring out laundry in a rank world. Blackbirds fly in and out of an open window. For centuries, distress was my dwelling place. I looked skyward and dream, head resting in an open window. Tall buildings and street poles block my view. So I throw all my possessions out of an open window. Kings and their lawyers lie down in palace corridors. A falcon with a note appears at the open window. Rulers cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed. A bandit steals my soul and makes through an open window. Beside the oak bookshelf, there's a wine bottle filled with peacock feathers. The invisible world lies just beyond the open window. Lost scene. I search for the tunnel. Back to the poet's time, where we drink vino tinto, listen to warm piano and the cantadores, to speak of revolution, the ever revolution, to sit at tables and smoke. Nobody lives long here. The poets share their poems, quick laughter, camaraderie tight, but gone just like that. Each friend alone is death. Death runs this region. Upon long red roads, courses through trunks and branches that reach, racked with life. The mountainsides. Even in winter, the trees are alive. Even in Andalusia, the killing ground, there is green. Even after the leaves have wept to the earth, even in stormy midnight, where a man is lost without lanterns, and they only sound the culverin fire. Death, take me there. For one drop of that vintage, one word from the living poet. That wine is gone. Cigar musk faded, lamp wicks blackened. The visionaries have gone insane or been murdered. Bodies drying in long red roads, scorched in soil, etched in clay, lingering. Thanks y'all for staying tuned with us tonight. I just got a couple more for you. This is present. The dog points her ears at the moon, a full moon, and Leo, rising through the trees and snow clouds, dark blue evening, sky full of action, weeping blankets on highways, in the little town of houses with yellow windows. I pass the time as best I can, from one horizon to the other. We sit in silence together, saying everything we needed. Now the silence does all the talking. It is the sound of knowing we were safe for this one moment. It is the sound of knowing that our presence is enough. It is the sound of the wind and the empty bus going by. It is the sound that the dog hears when nothing else stirs. And all check, 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 check. Awesome. Sorry about the technical issues tonight, y'all. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. I got these. This is Hirschfield and Merwin, and we're going to close it out. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and many thanks again to our featured poet Leah Tiger. Buy the new book from Deep Vellum Press. You can pre-order now. Anyway, this is from Hirschfield's new book, Ledger. I wanted to be surprised. To such a request, the world is obliging. In just the past week, around a rotund porcupine who seemed equally startled by me. The man who swallowed a tiny microphone to record the sounds of his body, not considering beforehand how he might remove it. A cabbage and mustard sandwich on marbled rye. How easily the large spiders were caught with a clear plastic cup surprised even them. I don't know why I was surprised every time love started or ended, or why each time a new fossil, Earth-like planet or war, or that no one kept being there when the doorknob had clearly. What should not have been so surprising, my error after error, recognized when appearing on the faces of others. What did not surprise enough, my daily expectation that anything would continue, and then that so much did continue when so much did not. Small rivulets still flowing downhill when it wasn't raining. A sister's birthday. Also, the stubborn, courteous persistence that even today, please means please. Good morning is still understood as good morning. And that when I wake up, the window's distant mountain remains a mountain. The borrowed city around me is still a city and standing. Its alleys and markets, offices of dentists, drugstore, liquor store, Chevron. Its library that charges a happy surprise. No fine for overdue books. Borges, Baldwin, Szymborska, Morrison, Kavafi. This is from Merwin's. Check. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on tonight. The sound of it. The rain stopped. You never hear it stop. then the dripping from the trees. And then, how could anyone hear it not falling, not arriving? And then, not arriving. Other things must be happening that way, unheard, all around us. You never hear the dog stop barking, whether you're listening or not. We hear things start up and go on, calling and shrieking and singing, saying hello, saying goodbye, but not stopping. Is that the way it is? Is there no sound to the stopping of stopping, and no sound to the stopping, and then no sound without stopping? That was Merwin's last book, and this was one of his first books. Dog Dreaming. The paws twitch in a place of chasing, where the whimper of this seeming gentle creature rings out terrible, chasing tigers. The fields are licking like torches, full of running, laced odors, bones stalking, tushed leaps. So little that is tamed, yet so much that you would find deeply familiar there. You are there often. Your very eyes, the unfathomable knowledge behind your face, the mystery of your will appraising. Such carnage and triumph, standing there, strange, even to yourself, and loved, and only a sleeping beast knows who you are. This goes out to a special dog whose birthday it is. This is from the ancient Sufi mystic Jalaluddin Rumi, the Barks translation. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a great night. One night a man was crying in the street, Allah, 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 Allah. His lips grew sweet with the praising, until a cynic said, I have heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response? The man had no answer to this. He quit praising and fell into a confused sleep. In his dream, he saw Hitter, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage. Why did you stop praising? Because I never heard anything back. This longing you express is the return message. The grief that you cry out from draws you toward union. Your pure sadness that wants help is the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. There are love dogs no one will ever know the names of. Give your life to be one of them. Give your life to be one of them. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them. Thanks a lot, y'all. That's a little roomy to leave y'all with tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, tonight. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Y'all, please tune in again next week. Please participate in the open mic. And please support the feature poet. Buy the book. And we'll have another great feature poet for you next. But thank you very much to our feature poet tonight, Leah Tiger. It was super good to catch up. Shit, I had fun tonight. Maybe too much fun. But I hope y'all did too. And we'll see you again next week. Y'all keep being who you are. And please stay safe out there. Keep standing up for what is right. And what else can I say? Y'all fucking rock. Thanks a lot. Many thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Max Milner on the keyboards. Jason Warren on saxophone. Aaron Price on bass. Chris Cooper on guitar. I'm Caleb Beissert. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. It means a lot. Y'all take care of your bar keys. Get home safe. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime. Cheers.